8 weeks left of this improvement season. Let's have a look at the check-in and see where we are at. Firstly then, let's have a look at how the physique is doing. So this is my front relaxed check-ins from Friday. We're a little bit watery here. Now, you can probably see from my face that it is absolutely roasting. So this week in the UK has been probably the second hottest that I've ever known. The 2 weeks before that was definitely the one where it's been the hottest. So, but overall, size is coming through nicely. We're not looking too soft. I'm posing this slightly differently. I usually do like a vacuum, and I wanted to see how it would look without, and I actually prefer it without a vacuum. So I'm gonna keep that in. But the top line is still the area here where I need to be able to get that shoulder back even further, and it's something that I'm working on with a nerve practitioner to fix. From the back, width is still coming on, which is nice. Glutes aren't out of shape, which is nice. Again, from the side, it's there that I want. That's the bit that I'm picking apart. I know that it's never going to be perfect, but there is that clavicle there. I've got the width genetically, but it's the thickness through there. I want to be able to sit a Coke can or something on top of there, which would be pretty cool if I'm able to do it. So this shot has come up quite nicely. Arms are progressing, as we'll see through the check-in a little bit later. Waist is still fairly small, just a little bit of film and water there, which is fine. It's off season. It's not the worst thing in the world. And same again here. It's that top line there that I'm seeing needs the most improvement, and arguably I could be getting my lats out a little bit better there. So overall, or actually something I wanted to talk about here is how I'm posing this. I'm pulling the vacuum up, but it's losing the leg detail and losing hamstring detail. So I think I'm going to have to adjust that and have a play so that I can actually get my glute and my hamstring to drop, because the upper body looks great, but the lower body really softens up when I do that. So I'm going to have a play around with that and see how I get on. But overall, the arm development is occurring, which is the main thing. And condition isn't really going anywhere, which is very nice. So I'm very happy. Mobility is getting much better with me putting my arms over my head. So what I'm actually thinking about doing is, as my arms go over my head now, is I'm actually pushing my shoulder blades up, which is allowing the torso to elongate, the lats come out even further, and actually I am able to contract my biceps when I do this. So you can even see it a little bit more here. It's up. You can see that I'm going a bit red because I'm probably caught the sun and holding my breath a little bit. But overall, midsection, again, still tight. Didn't turn my legs on very well there, but happy with how things are going. So let's have a look at what changes have been made this week. There's been a few adjustments to different things, but overall, nothing crazy because we are just cruising at the moment.
I want to interrupt this video just to talk to you about supplements. As a competitive bodybuilder, my performance, my recovery, and my health are all super important in my life. This is why I have been using Train by JP supplements for the last 5 years now. They cover everything from your pre, intra, and post-workout nutrition. They also offer health and joint supplementation. They also offer a nice stack and save option, which means that you don't have to think about which individual products you need. They're all there in a bundle package for you with a discount. If you click the link in the description below and use the code GPS10 at checkout, you'll get a 10% off your order. Now back to the video.
Here's the timeline. So we can see that last week I actually dropped 1.4 pounds on average across the week. This is potentially down to maybe the heat, training coming back in quite nicely, additional drug load, maybe putting a little bit more stress on my body. But overall, it's been a very positive response. We didn't up the food for this coming week. I thought there would have been another bump up, but I guess you make one change and you want to see if it's just a one-off. my body is feeling a little bit like a furnace, so that's been really nice. But as you can see, it's held here. It's still down from week 78, but this is just one way, and so we'll see how the rest of the week goes. Last week was the last week of urethylin A, and now in the week coming up, we're actually going to add in some MOTS-c at 5 milligrams 3 times a week, and then IGF-1 LR3 at 50 micrograms pre and post limbs. So that's 100 micrograms on leg days and arm days. So that's 3 times a week. And what I did, so I trialed it first yesterday because yesterday was arms, and I did 25 micrograms in the outer head of my tricep pre-workout, both sides, and then 25 micrograms in a head of bicep post-workout, which was a little bit rough, but that's it's only a small shot. So I'll be interested to see what happens here, because it's something I've never tried before, and I'm very fortunate from Chroma. If you click the link down below in the description, you can see all their products and get a discount with my discount code GPS10. I'll be interested to see what effect it has. I know some people have amazing responses and some people just don't have much. So that will be very interesting for me to see. You notice down here we've got a new lower tab, whether you remembered from last week, but we do. What this is so from my previous posterior session day, I've managed to move up to 160 kilo RDLs, which isn't anywhere close to lifetime PB, but I had a little bit of a glute twinge. So because glute and hamstring is an area that we need to bring up, Nath had a idea of just changing things around a bit, and especially because Phoenix, where I train, has actually opened up a gym right around the corner from me with a load of new kit, which I'm really excited to start. We actually changed this up a bit. So posterior now is going to be start off with back movements. So pull down, prime row, prime lat row, prime upper back row, hamstring curl, glute drive, then a B stance RDL, which I've never done before. Typically, it's more of a movement that ladies would use, but if I've got a glute problem, it's a way to really challenge glute and hamstring. And my lower back is very, very strong, so I can shift a lot of weight just in general. But maybe this will be the game changer for me. Who knows? I've never done it before, so novelty will be interesting. And then the other thing that we've changed is on our leg day. So you can see here, biceps first, seated hamstring curl, leg extension, hack, plate loaded hyper. Now I want to change this and eventually get a split squat in place. Now, hyperextension is a lot of hamstring and glute, which is exactly what's needed. I think I also need more sweep on my quad. Now, a split squat is, in my opinion, one of the best movements for your legs, not just necessarily for muscle growth, but you also get the stability element, you get the balance, you get a full gait cycle, which basically means like a walk is a gait cycle, so then we'll be able to really, really get in and get quad, hamstring, glute, stability, and strengthen that weaker glute on the left-hand side. So it's changed slightly. So if we scroll down, we've now still got the prime single arm curl. Abductors, so at the Crawley gym, they've got the MFG plate loaded abductor, which I'm really excited to use. I actually did this yesterday, so we're doing 2 sets of 8 to 12 on a split squat, which is something that I really want to add in, as I saw. Prime seated leg curl, so this is actually Strive, but we have that there. And then actually we have a plate loaded prime leg extension. So we're going to be using that. And they don't have an Atlantis hack, they have a different one. I know they have a Cybex, but I don't really like playing with the Cybex just yet. I might have a play with it, let's be real. It's new and shiny. So there's a high possibility that that'll be where I go to on that. And then finish off with adductors, which they have a plate-loaded adductor machine, which I'm really excited to try again. So this will be a real nice change of pace. Having the split squats to start will be a nice way to get more glute at the beginning of the session and then get towards more quad at the end. Overall, that's all the changes that have really happened. In my check-in this week, sleep has changed slightly. It's gone down a little bit again. So on my deload week, it was increased, which is usually the case because I'm able to get to bed earlier. So 2 minutes less, which I'm not particularly worried about. More time awake. That's probably down to heat because it was a lot cooler last week, the week before. REM has decreased. Core hours have actually increased, but not by much. This is just something I keep a track of. It's not something that you need to really do too much. My left arm is now an all-time biggest of 41.4 centimeters. I'm not going to translate that to inches because they suck and they're small, so I don't really want to know. And the right arm actually went down by 0.1 centimeters, which I'm not too worried about. And on HIIT cardio side of things, I've actually had to change it from 30 seconds on, 30 seconds rest to 40 seconds on and 20 seconds rest, because ultimately I'm just getting a bit fit and it's really, really challenging to get my heart rate up in the 30-30, whereas the 40-20, even though it's technically harder, it's less of a challenge to get my heart rate into the zones that I want it to be. So overall, very, very happy. And that's the update for this week. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you again in the next video.